Welcome, 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 and a happy new year 2023. We are gathering here for Mars Venus Love Coach Intimate Intelligence. And I introduce you into a concept that is really important to understand if we grow deeper and deeper into our personal and professional relationships. It's really about the 4 I's. I will introduce to you 4 times the letter I, and what these core words will be, I will share with you in a moment. But before I do that, I just wish to really welcome everybody here on this call, and I hope you enjoy this presentation. It will take around 45 minutes. If there are questions, you either can put them in the chat box, and if you view this webinar or the recording of this masterclass on YouTube, then please, feel free to either put a question in the chat box on YouTube or give us an email or a call or book a call with me to find out more. So this experience today really is 60 minutes in total, maximum if more questions are coming in later. It's an introduction to Mars, Venus, and quantum love and business coaching I perform, and my reflection, my personal reflections and professional reflections on intimate intelligence and its coaching elements. We will have invitations and gifts also by my colleague and mentor, Dr. John Gray, and this replay will go global on YouTube for you to review or to see the first time. The flow of this presentation, we learn about illuminating intimacy as a human key need. We're talking about deepening the 4 I's of intimate intelligence and the greater why. We unlock 3 soulmate secrets behind Mars Venus intimate or intimate intelligence. And also we look at some sort of elements that come out and through when we are looking at love and business relationships in comparison, their similarities and their key differences. And illuminating the Mars Venus intimate intelligence coaching experience, ultimately claiming your very own gifts that can hopefully help you to get to the next level in your very personal life and in your business and intimate relationships. The benefits of this class really are quite simple. It is about understanding the why we have different relationships and why we appreciate them in different areas of our lives, and potentially why not. How to treat every connection uniquely, sacredly, and exceptionally, particularly at the start and in your dating and work experiences. And what creates a resourceful vision and pathway to integrate and illuminate intimate intelligence in your very own relationships. And where is this leading you? Where to direct your connection long term? That's a very, very big question. So who is here? Usually singles and couples of all ages and nationalities, as I work globally. They are long-term lovers seeking personal growth. Maybe you're stuck in a relationship that has not had much renewal or new elements arising in the last little while. And maybe you just want to learn more and be more resourceful for your partner and in relationship to your beloved. People who are in committed and or open relationships and of all sexual statuses, can be heterosexual, polyamory, same-sex relationships. So you name it, this is really about you yourself and whatever your sexual expression, your intimate expression may be. And individuals aware of the importance that gender intelligence shapes our lifestyle, and the aspect of gender intelligence will come into the mix quite soon. This is me. I'm Adriane, the Mars, Venus, and Quantum Love Coach. I'm based between New Zealand and Bali. I personally carry 45 years of intimate relationship experience. I have extensive background in international film and arts industry. I'm since 32 years a qualified vibrational medicine and holistic business consultant. And I act as a love coach for more than 11 or 12 years. And I'm accredited and licensed Mars Venus Life, Love and Business Executive Coach under the company of Dr. John Gray. There's a book that came out very recently in late September 2022, which, it was an invitation to 20 of us coaches to participate in a Mars Venus project that is called Love and Coaching. Beautiful book with wonderful stories and chapters and testaments and theses about love and coaching, relationship, advice, and really understanding men and women in life, love, and business to a very, very much greater level. So I'm really proud being part of this project, now calling myself a published author. And here you see my 2 certificates, the book and Dr. John Gray. So I'm really happy. Dr. John Gray and I and many other coaches under Mars Venus collaborate a lot. So we will have next month a Valentine's masterclass with Dr. John Gray about love and money, and I'm really looking forward to welcoming him back on my channel here as a live guest. So why is Mars Venus and men are from Mars and women are from Venus so popular and so known and so important ultimately? So he really speaks about men live a more action and results focused life, whereby women live more family and relationship focused, and men tend to commit to a relationship in a slower and more digital pace. And when I say digital, then I mean more mentally acute, they're more logical, they have more a checklist that is really, really important for them, whereby women take much longer to build trust and stability. They want to feel good, they want to feel listened to, and also they want to feel some sort of that element of belonging when they enter a relationship, whereby men communicate their needs through going silent in a cave and disappear, whereby women want to communicate frequently and emotionally open and really need to give their meta report to their men almost every day, and if not once, then probably more than once. So because it's so important for a woman to just stay in communication with her partner. But I want to unlock a little different layer here, because gender intelligence really has become very popular through the Mars Venus metaphor, but also what I discovered as coach and as Mars Venus, and particularly as quantum intimacy coach, that there is a different layer that goes almost a little deeper, almost a little bit broader and more metaphysical. So gender intelligence is a broader approach to acknowledge that men and women as human creatures with specific hormonal, mental, emotional, and physical existential constitutions and differences have a very, very particular way of living with one another. Right? Intimate intelligence, however, is a pathway to acknowledge deeper human spiritual needs and its conscious and unconscious pathways that affect our relationships conditionally and or versus unconditionally. And you will say, wow, what's conditionally mean and what means unconditionally? And here I unlock it for you. Non-conditional relationships are usually based on our birth, family, and genetic connections. We are conditioned to love and respect our parents, siblings, and the whānau, which we know as whānau is the New Zealand expression for extended family. We choose friends or being a volunteer openly, giving permission to live us unconditionally and freely without expectations for exchange. So very often we feel it's just natural that we love people who are close to us by birth, by circumstances. We do not consciously choose. However, conditional relationships And someone will say, but isn't it unconditional love when I fall in love and I have a relationship to a man or to a woman? No, ultimately, there are always conditions. There are always certain agreements we have to make. So relationships, however, conditionally involve the exchange of financial and agreed values and rewards. And modern time love and business relationships are conditional by nature, because there has to be an exchange, and the exchange need to be agreed on. So the awareness to how we benefit from a particular connection counts. Money and sex changes any relationship organically, particularly long-term. And the word organically is quite consciously chosen by me here, because it's almost like an invisible, very natural process that when we dive into an intimate or very, very deep relationship, even in business, when we become so used working with a person day by day, or have a client, or have some kind of contractor relationship, things ingrain, and we are not really often so conscious anymore how things have been at the beginning when we get to know someone a little better. So here is this wonderful opportunity to actually learn about doing this in a more conscious and deliberate way, so that we have the outcomes and the real rewards from relationships we seek ultimately. So our situation in 2023, we have only mid-January, but that is really where we are at. We still lap from the last 2 years. COVID-19 has been incredibly impactful. And I spoke to a lot of people in New Zealand after my arrival home from Bali last month, who said how deeply COVID-19 has affected them, much, much more than they did understand in that very moment our lockdowns or these renewal phases happened. And with that, a new era of love and business relationships has arisen as well, socially and astrologically and culturally, I guess, as well. So, COVID-19 continues to be active globally. Lockdowns and the war in some parts of the world dominate individual freedom for choice in movement and connections. You will say, where are the lockdowns? Yes, they still exist in various places off and on. So I don't want to name it now, but we know of numerous friends and neighbors and acquaintances giving us, even still in the last few days, the message, I have COVID, I'm in lockdown, I'm in a sacred space, I can't meet. And so many couples do and have lived in distance relationships as well. And businesses ask us to work more from home and live and interact more isolated. And I think that is a really, really important part to understand that psychologically, we have developed new patternings, new ways of understanding people in their needs, which is wonderful because we can more emphasize with one another. But the downside is that a lot of couples say, no, we are not continuing, we divorce, or, I have no work, you have work, but we can't make it together, let's separate. So the unemployment rate is still relatively high for many. And I think it really depends on which industry you're working in, but certainly it demands creativity and a lot of, self-encouragement to create an own business or staying, in flow in these very, very vulnerable and changeable times. And there is an ultimate verdict to this, that, separation, versus humanization. So we're really looking for the human understanding about our needs. And, humanity is going through a big growth spurt, and we have this incredible need to understand us as true beings of greater, existence, much more, because it doesn't help when we say, this is black or white, or this is thinking and this is feeling. Often the thoughts and the feelings combined create a completely new understanding about what really is happening, compared to trying to do the logical thing or being just emotional about something. I think both layers are incredibly important to help to integrate. Individuals reevaluate the meaning of their lives and relationships massively. I hear that again and again, to an extent that talking with a love coach like me can be very painful. I really feel that a lot of people do their work very quietly and individually in their very own hearts and minds. And I hope I can change that through various messages I want to give now and in the nearer future, because it is important that we come together. You know, the dating scene has changed. You know, it's not as common anymore. I looked on pages in Auckland to find speed dating. There are almost no speed date events. They're all no events, no events. It's not happening. It's somehow very quiet around this going out and interacting with other people. And yet online, lots of interactions happening, but is it satisfying, really gratifying interaction? That's a big question. So many people change direction, leave lovers and professions, while others learn to deepen and commit what's right in front of them. You know, and if you're a mother or you are in a committed relationship, you will want to face the demon and want to do the inner work and the external work to make things better. That's really one of the greatest, you know, encouragement for why we are alive, to help to make it better. And yet intimacy and connections are compromised, because not always we can just suddenly say, oh, I want this, and then it's appearing. It's just a really hard process for many who feel quite, you know, uneducated or unresourced. I would like to introduce the difference between illuminating intimacy from an introspective place and from an interpersonal place. What is introspective intimacy versus interpersonal intimacy? So there are some secrets around that. And I think let's start with the intimate soulmate secret number 1, which is true intimacy starts with myself knowing to into me I see. And regardless how successful and happy we are, we need to ask our question again and again and again internally. Why am I where I am? And why is that happening to me the way it's happening? And how potentially can I make it different? So the intimate intelligence process starts really here. When business relationships do not manifest and or not sustain, very essential aspects of ourselves are not seen or respected. Wants and needs within our life and core relationship need to be discovered and clarified, and acknowledging that whenever core hurts and blockages appear on the journey of self-discovery, it clears our path forward. And being very clear what intimacy actually means for ourselves and how we wish to maintain boundaries around all our core connections. So stepping into interpersonal intimacy is really seeing the truth and the good in others beyond one's own values and purpose, allowing others to get to know us and learning to communicate well with one another, knowing the right point of time and agreed ways to include stronger sensory exchanges within the connection, particularly touch and sensuality, and ultimately respecting each other's boundaries. And now the question, how a coach can help. A coach sees your situation objectively. A coach asks the right questions. A coach has the experience to differentiate a client's issues, problems, and conflicts versus your potential. And a coach also knows strategies to transform the direction of a client's love and business life without delay and compromises. So now we are tapping into the 4 eyes of intimate intelligence. The 4 eyes of Mars Venus intimate intelligence are here to discover Mars Venus love coaching as a proven way to start and sustain your love and professional relationships. And when I say sustaining professional relationships, because I really made a strong point that I will differentiate, the layers here between personal, intimate relationships and work relationships. Sustaining a work relationship really demands a lot of human skill sets. And I mean, there's this fantastic book, Emotional Intelligence. I think a lot of business people benefited massively from this book being published, I think 1.5 decades ago. It's a huge bestseller and certainly uncovers a lot of, skill levels and also good tools to help, particularly emotional connections. But I think the intimate aspect of a connection in work is almost like when we are tapping into a level of responsibility for the outcome of another person's well-being. And I talk particularly about practitioners in the medical and the psychological and in a human development field that demands that we have the skill to really help people to get better or to have better lives, right? I mean, even if you're in jobs around money and around other good values, then we carry responsibility that people feel safe and trusted. And that is sometimes, a process that is going a little bit deeper than just, thinking logically. But we have the intellectual levels, and then there are the mental, emotional layers, that want to come some sort of through. And, if we illuminate each eye, then we also see the interpersonal and the sensual connections between each other. And then ultimately, what are the big questions we want to ask when we move forward in a relationship? So that is Mars, Venus, intimate, intelligent, eye number 1, which I relate to interest. When you meet someone, whether in business or on a first date or online, or you go to a party and you be introduced, or it could be even something totally unexpected. You meet a neighbor who knocks on the door and said, I just moved next door. Or you meet someone in an airplane and you shake hands and say, now we are flying for the next 9 hours together between New Zealand and Singapore. Or it could be anything. You have this awareness that there is someone you are destined to spend time with. And time is an incredible resource here because, I think we underestimate how time can actually define how we begin to relate to other people. But it's a resource we want to be wise about. And if we are genuinely not interested to meet someone on that level of getting to know someone or interacting with that person, then I think that's the moment where we already set some real strong boundaries and declare that this might not be for us. And we can do this in a way that is, friendly and polite. But if there are, layers of awareness that you want to build interest in that person and in that person's life and being, then, ask them questions about their background, their interests, their passions. Acknowledge what drives them and the words that dominate their words and values. So when you listen to them, that's a little bit neurolinguistic programming wisdom that are there keywords, are there elements where something shines through, which maybe matches with what I like and I experience in life. And then I have a level where I can bond and build some sort of rapport about what is really going on in their existence, which I can relate to, and explore each other's face, hands, smiles, and authentic expressions. But also when romantically connected, particularly romantically connected, take time to attune to each other's bodies and psychology. And here in this very first phase of getting to know someone intimately, whatever level, whether that is, personally or professionally, there's always a big question to ask, which is why. So why is this person in my life? Why are we having this connection? Am I the chosen one? Am I the dated one? Am I the doctor? Am I the professional who has the skills and these people don't? have the skills. Why is this connection happening in this very moment? And I think that is very, very important, because when you really understand the, the cause and the reasoning for something to develop and exist, then it can ultimately give us much more space for the next level, which is interaction. The next big I really is that we begin to interact more consciously, and we begin more to seek the rapport that is an exchange. All right, we give space for authentic and spontaneous responses like smiles and compliments. And when we begin already sexually to be interested to one another, we look into each other's eyes, be responsive, and enjoy each sensory signal, because detail counts, and with that I'm saying, take time to experience this. When you go on dates, that interaction part is so important. And now I say something really important. Now, many of you who might be interested in this webinar from a place of saying, okay, how do I learn to be a better lover, or how can I have better sex, or how can I date better, or what is actually intimate intelligence really mean? That sounds very fancy. But for many, here it stops. There's no way that people go further, because what I know and experience and hear and see with what's going on in the dating world and in many connections on this planet, is there is a lack of willingness to spend time with one another to really build that momentum, to deepen a connection through interaction. And really, I mean, I did some research about dating and dating culture in 2022, because I was invited for an interview for a New Zealand radio channel. And it was really about dating habits and where to find people and where you meet your new lover and how would you set up a date. And one thing became really evident, that in 2022, since COVID lockdowns ended, people don't want to go just out anymore and sit in restaurants and eat and drink and, have this kind of romantically aligned picture where everything seems, very nice. But people want to do something. They want to have action-packed dates, where they go on walks, where they take people to places, where they do sport together, or interact in a much, much more outgoing way. Dancing is a huge one, dance and interact through movement and through hobbies, and or go to concerts, or do something that is much, much more alive and demands more sensory responses, not just in feeling someone and saying, oh, you are sweet and I like you, but really also seeing the responses with other people in the world around them in a much broader spectrum when going on a date. So I think this is really important to learn that there is something about this person that could be so exciting and so unexpected, because the way they portray themselves and just telling about their life. But when you really have experiences and share them with one another, that it could be very, very different. And a lot of dates end with one date or even just a simple chat on a dating app, and then it's just judgment. No, this is not working. This person is not really my wavelengths. No, he is not attractive, or he doesn't look this good, or she's not really my body type, or oh, she's too old, he's too young. I mean, it could be anything, the level of judgment. But I think what's really important here, and we're coming to Mars Venus intimate intelligent eye number 3, which is integrity. We're beginning now to tap in a field where it's really about human integrity. And that is where I believe, as a love coach, I built a sense of awareness and renewal here in people's minds and hearts. Because when I go this deep, even just with someone who asks me questions to how can I date better, and why don't I find a partner, and why is this not happening, or why did my secretary leave, or why is this person going to another job, or there is something that wants to be discovered and uncovered. And we're talking here the place of authenticity, honesty, transparency, and respect. And I think respect is probably the most important word of all. We need to develop trust in their motivation to like, love, or hire you, or us within the framework of goals and values you share. So it's really important that you understand, this whole idea of why would a person really come in my life? Why would this person want to be hired? And the other way around, why me? Why them? That's really important. Clean appearance and sexual intimate hygiene and the establishment of clear boundaries being met. And I'm not saying this only physically, I also mean that mentally. Really important. The big question, how do I appear? How do I speak? How do I present myself? If too much negativity and self-talk and old repetition is happening, a person is probably not interested to dive deeper and build trust in who you are and who you want to be and what you have to offer. And now we are getting even a step deeper, and this is number 4. This is the I that speaks about influence. And I chose the word influence quite wisely here because I could also say impact. Entanglement is another one. But entanglement starts with an E, not with an I. So influence is, we know from social media, what is an influencer? We're looking up to this person and want almost to be like this person. I have what this person has or represents in their value system. So the moment we are actually allowing someone to influence us, we are already in a deep relationship, whether this is for the purpose of having an intimate relationship as couple or as client and, and the person who delivers something or makes an offer professionally. It could be in so many friendships. I think you see this in our younger generation. I see this particularly in my children being in their 20s, that they know a lot of people. And they listen a lot to different people of what they say, but they choose only very few. They really, have an impact on them. So they really differentiate very wisely what is it they really want to hear and listen to, and who is that person having the knowledge, the product, the offer, the charisma, the body, the heart, the mind, whatever it is, that makes them feel, inspired. And I think this is a biggie in our intimate relationships as well, that when you're meeting someone, that this idea of influencing is really allowed, that we give each other the permission to give and take and to receive and give messages and ideas and an exchange of important understandings about who we are as human beings. And it doesn't need to match always. Emotional intelligence gives that skill set to act from a place of accepting someone's place in the world without getting caught up in the trauma of needing to be in the same place. And the 5 love languages are very powerful. They can even be applied in business. Now, it doesn't need to be only about love. It can be very much about understand that person, wants quality time in a business environment. This person feels a little better in, having positive and encouraging conversations and communication. And the physical touch part, you see them always in companies and in businesses. They're always the huggers who want to hug you in the morning and hug you at night, and they love the physical touch without even being intimately connected to you, but it's important to them. We need to understand that when we are going into influence, it's like an energy is flowing. It becomes a bit more vast, and not particularly only physical. So we need to understand that the spiritual energy in the quantum field we share with others intimately creates karma and imprints, particularly when sexually connected. And the big question here is really where to, yeah. And I will add to that in a very moment. But for this very moment, I want you, if you listen carefully, go deeper into this concept. You know, where am I? If I have a relationship that I care about, whether I'm in love or not, whether I'm working with someone I really care about, or clients I really, really want to maintain in my realm of professional expertise, where am I strong, and what level can I declare I'm really, really resourceful? And am I really willing to influence people and to be influenced by whatever has become, you know, a relationship that counts? So I think you just take this moment and go into the space in you where you're comfortable, but maybe where are you not comfortable. The integrity part could already be a little bit strange, and going into the awareness that whether we want it or not, we are influencing each other and have an impact on each other can be really difficult. So which of these four I's seem to be missing in your core relationships, whether in love or business? And the questions you want to ask yourself here: how open am I to intimacy to others? So are people genuinely opening up to me easily and respectfully? Am I comfortable to give a person space, particularly in the dating realm? You know, feel I comfortable to touch someone's heart and body when feeling wanted? I mean, there's usually this moment where we say, oh, this person wants me, or I want this person. So is that usually that turnaround where we are using the switch and get quite, you know, boundless in our way of interacting? Or is there still an awareness, how, stop, I want to hold boundaries because maybe I need to ask for, you know, for permission, or create a sense of consent that we are really, really giving each other what we are ready for. And these are levels that have been very, very misunderstood in many, many dating, you know, situations. I think it's got lost. It has, you know, when we didn't want to do it the old way anymore, the new way allowed to just rush it and be very, very, very unaware. And now, you know, you're realizing, oh my God, wounds and traumas caused by anyone in our own realm, or even our parents' relationships, you know, they still affect us. There's still something that goes on. And is there someone I'm interested in to connect deeper? However, I don't know how. So I think these are really questions that need to be examined in order to find out, is this work for you? Because if you open up to it, it can be mind-blowingly transformational. So the power of quantum intimacy is really, and this is the way I take it in my work. And when you learn my other, you know, pieces of work, or my other types of seminars or retreats, the words quantum intimacy appear a lot. It's really about living in a consciousness beyond the physical and the 3D plane, and it's to expand into an awareness that you relate to another person in a quantum field of greater expansion. And the expansion is the fluid part, is that influence I'm talking about. It's almost like a miraculous giving and taking, where the light of your own self meets the light of the other person. And guess what? Two lights together shine much brighter and create much more interesting, great things in our lives. And we can experience miracles and manifestations beyond our very own imagination and wildest dreams. And the word wildest dreams is not romanticized. It's really, it can be wild, and dreams can be really very vivid and very intense. And we might find that when we dream something, it could become reality. And that what we hold in our imagination can become reality. to surrender into the polarity of a divine masculine and divine feminine right now. I think that is another dimension that would be a whole retreat or a whole seminar or a whole masterclass. But I keep it very simple here to say that if you discover, and when you discover these powerful aspects of this work of intimate intelligence, then you will understand that the polarity between these two forces are very, very important. And a big question to ask yourself is, who am I? Who am I in this very vibration, in this very much power or circle of powerful influence that is coming my way here? When I meet someone, when I work with someone, I can be much more creative as I ever could be on my own. So it's limitless opportunities that come our way when we actually understand how expansive relationships can be when we allow these forces to be very, very sequential and yet very open and fluid. There's another secret, of course. Intimate intelligence flows and grows constantly and can be exercised like a muscle, because we never stop influencing and impacting others while others influence us. It's just impossible. It's just impossible to not be influenced unless we really switch off the phone, switch off the radio, television, no social media, keep the go, you know. I don't know of many people who choose that, but I certainly know of many people who choose very wisely what they want to and don't want to listen to. And I think when you shape your intimate relationships, then it becomes very important that your understanding about this person becomes very, 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 how can I say? It's almost you put them in the spotlight, and you really want to scan how good it feels, so that you can deepen it every day of your existence with that person. And another intimate soulmate secret is intimate intelligence mirrors through all areas of our lives, while subtly filtering through every important bonding experience and connection we share. And it can be systematically eliminated, scanning the core course for any past experience that stops us to be trusting and committed to others. And this is where my work come in, because, as much you might have positive experiences, sometimes there creeps something in that you haven't expected, which is a past experience or a block or something, a red flag that appears. You didn't think after 5-10 weeks of dating or 3 years of marriage, and suddenly it appears. So where from here, carry on not manifesting what you want and withdraw from the healing exploration of intimate intelligence and what it means for your relationship or yourself. But I would say, no, don't go there. It is a super, super important subject. And the fact that you are interested to listen to me in the first place, and that the two words intimate intelligence really invoke some interest in you, I think it's a good course to continue. Or you explore the opportunity to engage in the discovery of a love relationship or business executive coaching relationship, while illuminating intimacy a real and meaningful and awakening journey for yourself and those you love. If you neglect this, then usually what's happening, and I do this very fast now, it creates aloneness and isolation. We begin to take people incredibly for granted and assume separation, divorce, or loss of income could never happen to us personally. We think that it's to the others, but I'm good, and then kill ourselves when it becomes reality. And the word kill, again, is very, very wisely chosen, because it can really destroy every part of our inner self-worth. It can so much change who we are if we suddenly left in a situation we have ultimately not expected to happen. We feel that new relationship could become commodities, negativity ingrained slowly, and we are having this little playbook of rules, and when it's not going our way, then we're getting very unhappy, and ultimately we become a victim of our own life and the stagnation of human interpersonal relationships. And I think vulnerability is a big word here too. I think we are in times where we want to be really, really wise. And here's my offer to you. I think if you really have interest in exploring what I have to offer to you in making huge changes between now into the year 2023, there's a package, an 8-week coaching package for $1,111. It's 8 weeks and it has a total value of $3,920. And what you get for this is 2 months of coaching contract with 4 times fortnightly 60 minutes, one-to-one coaching sessions. And then every alternating week you have fortnightly 30 minutes. So 1 week we are having longer sessions that usually go up to 75, sometimes even 90 minutes. I want to be really honest. I'm very abundant with my time when it comes to clients who are committed. And then we have these integrations that are in the second week of, alternating week. And they can happen by phone, by email, and they're funded by Zoom or WhatsApp. In that very time you work with me, you will have the offer to many other interesting seminars, events that are, planned and scheduled. So you will get discounts or even free tickets, depending what the event is about. And you would have the opportunity to have VIP bookings into love coach retreats and conferences that are higher ticket prices. And I think, very often I give again these tickets for free and make them cost price for clients who are very, very committed to work with me. So I, give that coaching package a value of $3,920. And it's a wonderful coaching package. And I want to say, I will not tease you with any timeline and saying, you have to book this in the next 5 hours after this webinar, or, and yet I want to put a little bit of a structure into that and saying, for those of you who see the replay during January 2023, this will apply for you. And if you're not live here today, but listen on YouTube, please look down on the description box below, and it will give you all the details how to contact me. And then I would have, of course, discovery call with you to see whether this package is right for you, because it could be something else. Maybe not a coaching package. It could be coming to one of the retreats or being part of another initiative, which I will introduce very soon. Another offer is to people who work in the business field. I just shaped this package, and this is incredibly cost effective for 12 months. And it is many more coaching hours. It's not just 60 or 75 minutes a week. It's actually, these are 2 to 2.5 hour sessions weekly, and they have a lot of other benefits. So this package is $8,888 for 12 months. And with all of the packages I offer, there is a 23% discount to attend a 7-day Illuminating Quantum Intimacy retreat or the Dance of Love retreat in Bali, New Zealand. So in order to, find out what are the days already scheduled, you please go on my calendar. And if you're on the call, the calendar link will just appear on the chat right now. Otherwise, I suggest you just, look in the description box. You'll find a link there, or go on my website and click on the subpage of calendar. We are going to MarsVenusLoveCoach.com. And there's another event that's coming up very soon, actually, in a month's time. Today in a month, so actually in 4 weeks, we're starting on Waiheke Island just after Valentine's Day, and our wonderful masterclass with Dr. John Gray. I will conduct 3.5, 4 days on Waiheke Island. It's called the Mars Venus, a Valentine's retreat. It's a 4-day love coach relationship transformation event on Waiheke Island in New Zealand. So for those who are on the North Island, you certainly know where Waiheke is. You take a ferry from Auckland, ferry ride of around 35 minutes, and we are in a lovely venue that is right beachfront and very close to a lovely little beach. It's called Little Palm Beach, and Palm Beach north facing, and delightful place. And this 23% discount I give till this Sunday, 22nd January 23. I give the coaching packages till the end of this month, but if you're interested to come for this discounted offer to the retreat, I would like to talk to you by latest Sunday. Or let's say this way, if you have booked your discovery call with me by Sunday, then it will apply. We will discuss whether this retreat is for you. Another event coming up is an online retreat I wish to offer between the 1st and the 8th of March 2023 for a very special price of $440 for 7 calls and another integration session at the end, which will be a one-to-one session for each of the participants. It will be a 2-hour session each day, and it will have exercises and recordings and meditations, and it will go really, really deep. But it's very different to the intimate intelligence coaching from perspective that it's a group event, number one, and number two, it will also be a more metaphysical aligned event. Rather, the coaching is more personally strategizing what's good for you and what are the next steps to undertake in your life. Yeah, and please, you will find here in the chat now the links to 2 gifts we're giving you. To apply for these packages, please book a call with me. And to receive John Gray's gift, please go on the Mars Venus link to receive the gift from John Gray. So that are my offers as an add-on to this beautiful sharing about the 4 eyes of intimate intelligence. And what is covered in a 30 minutes discovery session with me is usually we allow you to share what motivates you and to listen, seek inspiration from a Mars Venus coach. 20 aspects of your life reviewed and reflected in only a few minutes. So we'll actually see you, putting some numbers of where you are at, so that we see which areas are really going well for you and where there might be things you want to improve and change. What's the big why in love, life, and business? What's important? What's missing? And also how coaching could change your life uniquely right now. What is this current situation actually asking from you as a human being, and for me as a coach, to help you to have a much greater, perspective about your life as a whole. All right. So it's really about a one-off invitation to assess your core-relationships and life in greater depth. So this is the link to book a call with me. It's either down in the description box here on YouTube or on Zoom, where we're recording right now live. So please use that in order to find some support in booking with me. And also the 30 minutes link is a free link, so absolutely see me on Zoom. For those living in Auckland, I offer to meet me in Ponsonby at the moment in my practice, in my office in Jervis Road, number 35. On my website, you have all these details. So when you book and you decide to meet me in person, I would appreciate if you send me an extra message so that I can prepare for meeting you in my office and not just come on Zoom, because automatically a Zoom link will be created with your booking, and that's the Zoom link we will meet on. Yeah, once again, here are the two links for the gifts. John Gray's beautiful gift, which is a whole little 5-day seminar, actually. I would take that in a heartbeat. It's a wonderful little opportunity to reflect on things that really are important to you in your love life and see, where you are at. And that can lead to the decision as well to get in touch with me, because, I'm a licensed Mars-Venus coach and work on his behalf in New Zealand, in Bali, and globally. Here again is the book. We also have the link here for ordering this book. It's on Amazon. We became an Amazon #1 bestseller in October, which I'm really proud about. And as well, part of our list of links will be the book link on Amazon to make an order either on Kindle or as a hard copy. And here again, my websites, we have marsvenuslovecoach.com, quantumlovecoach.com. And for those who know me in New Zealand or want to use a New Zealand link, is lovecoach.co.nz. I have also a Bali website, which doesn't refer to these coaching offers, but if you're interested to see what events are coming up in Bali and a little bit more in detail, it's marsvenuscoachingbali.com. As well, this link will be down in the description box on YouTube. Yeah, and then last not least, we're almost a full hour now. I just want to go through a few events, upcoming Mars-Venus Love Coach online masterclasses and Bali retreats in 2023. We have next week on the 26th of January, another webinar, which is Love and Intimacy After Divorce. So this will be very specifically for people who just are going through divorce or intending divorce or have overcome divorce. And it's about 5 steps to recreate your love life during this time. Then we have to offer on Tuesday, 14th February, that is 3 p.m. Pacific time, or that's for New Zealand, Wednesday, 15th February at 12 noon. And depending where you are in the world, please just look on the invitation for this event and you will certainly find your local time to attend live. And if you can't attend live, then of course it will come as a replay on our YouTube channel. There's another event planned now in April, between 1st and 8th of April, the Dance of Love. I'm very happy giving you an introduction to what tango meditation is. It actually really speaks a lot about the physical expression of intimate intelligence, particularly the integrity and the influence part, where you move into a space where you begin to feel someone much more beyond just your, human experience, but also there is this wonderful field that's created between two people when they start to move in polarity, and someone leads and the other follows and vice versa. So Stephanie Kang is a very experienced tango teacher in Indonesia and in Germany, and she is dedicating a big part of her teaching, philosophy to this particular piece of work she calls tango meditation. We are very good friends and have developed the interest in doing the love coaching together with a physical retreat that helps that the dancing. It's not learning tango per se, but it gives you an introduction to the energetics about tango dancing. Yeah. Another thing to say, if you are interested to learn about the master matchmakers, I am an accredited matchmaker as well, and I begin another department of my business very soon, where I will match. So if you have a personal interest to speak to me as me being a matchmaker, then text me and also ask for a call, and then we can discuss what your needs are. And that is really quite different. That includes the coaching if you want, but really seeking to find your partner has different elements altogether in the process. And now I wish to thank you with all my heart and hope to meet you very, very soon. Please go on the calendar page of my website to stay tuned about new events coming up. And I so hope and trust that I get to know you and that you will make time for 30 minutes discovery call. And, you know, we can talk about all that's needed for you and wanted for you in this very time of your life. Wishing you all the best, and live in passion and hopefully intimate intelligence, and have a fantastic week, a fantastic month of January. And also we're heading towards Valentine's, so I think it's a great time to make the decision to upgrade your very personal skills about how to date, how to connect with someone deeply, and also how to structure your life so that love and intimacy can really exist for you and others. Thank you so much. Namaste.